and we're here with Volaris. Nathan, how are you doing?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, great to have you. How's your day going?
Yeah, good. Just in the studio, as you can probably see, just been finishing off a few masters and mix downs ready for this year for releases.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a big year ahead for you. You've had a pretty standout 2023. I'm sure it must still feel like a bit of a dream. How are things going overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, I started the year off last year playing Printworks, was my first show of 2023. So, yeah, it couldn't have started any better, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. I think the release I had on John Summit's label in 2022 sort of helped catapult that, and then I had regular releases out on Mousetrap, Nora and Pure's label, Solado's label, and it just sort of helped push that forward. But yeah, sort of coming towards the end of last year, I had a run of amazing shows and dates alongside Deb Mouse and Nora and Simon Doty and a few other guys as well, which was great. So yeah, hopefully this year's going to be an even bigger one, which I don't know how I'm going to top off the shows I did last year, but yeah, it's hopefully going to be good.
You've been, I guess, working, in music and obviously in a different lane of music for quite a while. Tell us more about your journey and how you've got to this point, and then we can talk more broadly about, what you're doing coming up, the KORUS platform, and more. But yeah, I'd love to just hear about, your journey in music, like how you started and, how you got to this point.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite a long journey. I've been trying to, I'd say, make it essentially and be a professional touring DJ for a very long time. It's probably the love of music started when I was around 14, 15, and my dad collected records and was actually a DJ himself. So, I was siphoning through, funk records and old Northern Soul records and all that sort of stuff. Dire Straits and loads of different things, and sort of DJing was where I first started my journey. Did that for a number of years, had some decks and all that sort of stuff. And then, when I hit sort of around 19, 20, I sort of wanted to delve a little bit deeper into music production, and then decided that I was going to go and do a course at Point Blank Music College. So I did that when I was around 20. Really loved that. Got into the production side. Started off, utilising workstations like Logic to start with, and then sort of evolved over to Ableton, which is what I'm using now. But yeah, it's been a very long journey. I've done a number of different things within the music sector. Essentially, I've worked in like label management, A&R. I've dealt with production, so I've been the other side of things where we're sort of dealing with confetti cannons and all sorts of pyrotechnics and things like that as well. Lived in Ibiza for a couple of years, and then that's sort of all drawn through to building up a bank of connections. Played at Ministry of Sound for about 8 or 9 years as a resident for them, and then it sort of led towards what I'm doing now, which is Volaris. And it was sort of when lockdown hit, I had a chance to sort of get into trying to find a sound for myself, and sat in the studio. Luckily, I mean, I've managed to build this in lockdown, and what's come out of this is pretty much what Volaris is now. But the journey to get to that has been a lot of late nights. I've worked full time in a sales job in the whole time I was doing the music stuff as well. So music has always been a passion on the sideline, but I sort of did a stint of production work for 2 or 3 years, which was full time. But then there's been a number of things that have happened in that time that led to this position. But I sort of 2015, I ended up sort of losing my job in the production side of things, and ended up having to quit music full time because I ended up having cancer. So it was a bit of a sort of abrupt end to my journey of building up and doing a few dates with ministry and sort of building a profile and starting a business and all that sort of stuff. And that came to a bit of an ending. And then I went and got another job sort of 5 years after that. And then, as I said, when it got into lockdown, I ended up having the time to sit back and reflect on what I wanted to do. And then Volaris was born from that. So that's a bit of a whirlwind sort of story. I hope that's all made sense, but yeah, sort of trying to give you a bit of a picture of how long it's taken me to get to this point.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I think, the fact that you've not given up on your dream of music is the most incredible, because a lot of people, I think, naturally will just choose to kind of put it aside, because the music industry is not the easiest to break into, and it's really difficult to sustain a living from it. So you have to sometimes, have multiple jobs and work harder than most people do, and you've obviously had to go through that, plus so much more. How many years of in the making would you say this Volaris project has been at this point?
Well, the Volaris project's probably been, it's probably been 2 or 3 years, but then in terms of before that, it's been, a good 17 to 20 years of me chugging away, grafting, and I've had, multiple aliases and tried to do it a few times, but it just never really took. So this is it. Fingers crossed. We're still at the beginning stages, so I've had some amazing shows, but you still got to keep building on that, and things like this is great to do. So
no, for sure, and I think, like you said, it's constant. Like there's constantly another level that you have to build up to, especially as you're sort of growing the foundations of your platform as an artist and more. But you have an incredible ecosystem that you're obviously working with, and not just Mousetrap, but many friends within the electronic scene that are really supporting your sound. What would you say has been some of the breakthrough sort of moments that really helped kind of unlock the next phase of your career?
I think there's been 3 people that have been I'm going to say there's a multitude of different people that have helped. I think the 3 main DJs that have helped me break through is definitely John Summit to start with. That record was absolutely massive for me. First record on Off the Grid, which is now Experts Only. It was the first non-John Summit release on his label, and that sort of catapulted me into the limelight, essentially. But then I've also had heavy backing from my good friend Salado. So Salado are friends of mine. I actually ran the label with those guys for a number of years. So I think that's been going probably about 8 years now. So I'm really good friends with those guys and all the tech house lot that go along with that. And then the other person that's been instrumental in this is probably Nora M. Pure. So she's put me on a number of shows and really helped back me and sign records and things like that as well. So those 3 guys have been instrumental from a DJ perspective, but also there's a guy that I met in my ministry days, James Sutcliffe. He sort of was instrumental in bringing me into the 720 family, and that's then culminated into building into the Circuit Group, which is a wider business which deals with a multitude of different platforms within music. And those guys are a bit of a powerhouse now, so it's I feel grateful to be part of that team, and I think having the right team behind me and the right DJ support is really sort of helping me with this journey.
No, I completely agree. And how would you, I guess, every artist's sound evolves over time, right? Quite naturally. Like, how would you say your sound's evolved over the years?
I don't know. I think, I mean, it definitely has evolved. And I've started, my sort of main love has always been, house, disco, that sort of stuff. And, I'm talking like, Louis Vega, David Morales, like Frankie Knuckles, that sort of house music, and then that's sort of where that led into the Ministry of Sound stuff, and then from then it's sort of moved into what I'm doing now. But I've always had big love for progressive house, and guys like Eric Prydz, Joris Vaughan, even obviously Deadmau5, and that side of things. So I've always been stuck in sort of 2 worlds essentially, like really housey stuff and main stage progressive house essentially. So Volaris is a culmination of that really. You'll hear in a lot of my records there's sort of, well, in the records that I've got coming up, there's sort of diva vocals which are mainly from the house side of things, and again we'll utilize that with certain maybe tech housey drums and maybe some more progressive synths, but it's sort of a mashup of different worlds, which is what has ended up with Volaris. And again, I'm just trying to stand out and be a little bit different and unique with my sound rather than sort of try fit into what other people are doing, and it seems to be working so far. So
like, what do you think about sort of live shows and visuals and sort of the presence of them in kind of electronic music? Like, are you excited by that medium of kind of storytelling? And obviously you're talking about like main stage. Well, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on it as how the space is evolving.
So there's 2 things for me. I think you have to sort of try and separate them out and look at this in different ways. You've got for me, a dark warehouse with minimal production and a DJ is where I've come from, and I love that. I just love the stripped back, let the music do the talking rawness. But then on the other side of things, you've got guys like Tale of Us, even Eric Prydz with a hollow setup, and for me that is just it's another world. And I think what that is the future of music and AV. So I think, you know, audio visual is a big part of what people are looking for now, that experiential side of music, where you can have, you know, the music bringing into technology, and, you know, the amalgamation of two is mind-blowing. You know, you've seen what these guys are doing. It's breathtaking, and sort of that's what I look up to in terms of what the Volaris project is about. But also there's that element of, you know, the music side has to shine through for it to sort of work with the audio visual. So it's trying to capture both elements for me.
No, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it there. There is this like beautiful contrast around just a raw warehouse, and you want that at times, and that's a great musical experience. But on the other hand, the sort of boundaries that are being pushed with storytelling at on stages at that scale is just like, it's a new canvas for like artists to really express themselves, which I think is
and I think for me it's I want to be at the forefront of pushing technology, hence this conversation. And you know, there's things with augmented reality that we could probably bring into shows. There's going to be, you know, elements of how we're going to engage the audience even further. You know, we've obviously all got these smartphones and devices. Is there a way of us engaging the audience even further with technology? And I'm all for it. I just think there has to be maybe a separation of how these things go down different paths, and, you know, there's room for all of it, in my opinion. I think if you're going to go and watch a show, it's going to be a show. If you're going to watch a DJ, it's going to be a DJ. So I think it's just having those elements separated out maybe, and going, right, I want to push the boundaries on that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, because it's also like, I guess as an artist, you don't need to be so boxed in to some extent. You can create space to have a few different shows, and I guess the challenge is ultimately finding, you know, the business model, I guess, ultimately that works, that allows you to tour a show and make money from it, or actually, you know, build a brand and more, which I think can sometimes be challenging because it's really expensive. And it kind of leads me to my, I guess, next point in the conversation, AI, very, very touchy subject and an exciting subject at the same time. I'd love to hear your thoughts on just AI as a whole, and then we can go into some more specifics. But, you know, how do you feel about AI in the music industry, and, you know, the pros and cons?
I think it's trying to understand it for me still. It's a scary concept, because, you know, I can see how it's evolving and the speed it's evolving. You know, it's sort of very, you know, you look at these old movies like Terminator and all this sort of stuff, and I think we're getting to that point where it's going to just keep rolling, and, you know, we're going to be in some sort of futuristic world where, you know, there's going to be all sorts going on. But you know, for me, I think in terms of bringing it back to music production and how AI influences me, I think it's a massive help. You know, I use certain tools online already to sort of break out stems and help do remixes, and, you know, I say remixes like edits and things like that. And I've utilized AI to try and find little vocal snippets and use those as well. I mean, Hand of God was an AI generated vocal. So again, it's utilizing those tools to your benefit. I think that where we're at the moment, and we'll see obviously with the KORUS platform as well, you know, these tools are advancing very quickly, and, you know, I was actually quite shocked to see how advanced I think KORUS is in terms of where it's at the moment, and the future for that is, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's exciting to see. I think it's just, I'm in sort of a space where it's sort of, you know, I'm a little bit probably older in terms of you know, looking at these sorts of things, because obviously you've got the young kids that are massively into these AIs and all that sort of stuff. But for me, it's like looking at it from both scales. I'm equally scared of it as I am equally excited about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, you know, one of the biggest problems and challenges right now, I think, is that this technology is evolving so quickly. And, you know, on the one hand, a lot of these AI models are trained on artist content that they haven't even licensed. So it's like, okay, here's an AI model spinning out an absolute weapon of a track. That sounds like a great house track or a techno track, and it's been trained on like thousands and thousands of songs that they didn't even pay to license, which I think there's a real problem there, right? That doesn't make sense, because it's like artists can spend time and money building up their catalog and their music for it to basically just be copied by an AI model, and for someone else to be able to then, you know, ultimately, you know, infringe on that and steal their work in some way. I think that's scary, and there needs to be a solution for that, right? There needs to be ways to protect artists, make sure they're paid, and then make sure they can, I guess, you know, take advantage of AI in a way that's beneficial to their career.
Yeah, I fully agree with that sentiment, 100%.
But why don't we jump in? Let's show you what we are building with KORUS, and obviously we have some Volaris stems in here, which I'm really excited to check out. So KORUS is an interactive music platform that we've developed, and the idea is you can come in and create songs using the stems of a number of different artists and labels on the platform. Right now we have the Mousetrap Mixtape Challenge and some great Volaris stems on the platform, which let's jump into and check out. So we are in the KORUS platform right now, and the first thing I'm going to do is click on Volaris. I'm going to jump straight into some of the Volaris stems, and let's preview some of these. Right, I'm going to choose Hand of God and I'll click Create, and that's going to take us into the live create mode. Now we can basically build up a track here. We can perform live. I can use the number pad on the keyboard to mute and unmute tracks, and yeah, I'll just perform and sort of build up a little track and performance here. Cool. Let's spin and let's find another stem. Let's go to Volaris. Why don't we try Don't You Know?
I love the fact that it's great for fan engagement, and like getting fans to have a play with the stems is something that I'm all for 100%, because it's just giving another level of feeling like you're part of the music, and for me, I'm all about that. Again, it's you can even go as far as to say people can sort of send over the tracks, and if they're good enough, you can sort of put them in sets, or you might play some after parties and film yourself playing some of these tunes, and and again, I think you can download individual stems as well, can't you, from it, and then put it into an Ableton or a Logic or whatever you're using, and then try and create something off the back of that as well. And again, I'm all for it. I mean, the amount of people that have done edits with Merva Records, and they're going to get hold of things anyway. Like I said, there's platforms out there to take your stems to pieces already, so why not give it to them in high quality and let them enjoy it in a platform like KORUS, and go out there and try and make a couple of cool edits.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, on that note, we have a few days left for the Mousetrap Mixtape Challenge. For those who don't know, Mousetrap Mixtape Challenge is one of the first remix challenges taking place on the KORUS platform. You can remix stems from, obviously, the Mousetrap label. We've got stems from Volaris, Speaker Honey, and Lemon on the platform. They all sound incredible, as you could just tell with like 1 or 2 minutes of jamming that I was playing with. And you come in, create a track, and by Friday we will be picking some winners and some of the best tracks and performances to release on the label. So yeah, really exciting. I think this is the start of, really unlocking a new way for artists and fans to build value together and to, share obviously the love for music and so much more. So yeah, definitely get involved in the Mixtape Challenge. It's completely free. You don't need to, worry about anything on that front. Really simple and easy. And then from there, if you love the experience, you can get involved in a lot more that we have coming up on the KORUS platform. There's more content that you can check out. There's more remix challenges, and you can also earn prizes. We have a bunch of synths. We have tickets for shows. We have physical merchandise, just from making a track, just from making your first track as well, if you haven't made a song before. So get involved. I think it's a really fun community, and growing every week. So definitely come and check it out.
I keep getting tweets from people as well about my, they've done an edit in KORUS, and they're sending them to me as well. So it is definitely fun and engaging. Gets the fans engaged with the music for sure.
No, I love that. And yeah, definitely. I mean, if anyone's made some tracks with some Volaris stems, please put them up, tag Volaris on them. We want to see those, and it'll definitely be rewarding some of the best creations and outputs as well. But Nathan, this has been great. I think we've covered a lot of ground on this. Anything you wanna touch on before we close off?
No, I think we've covered most of it. I think for me, it's just exciting to see where this platform goes and how it develops, and how the engagement with the fan base grows through it. So yeah, it's exciting, really.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think for me, what's really most important is that we're entering such a interesting and sometimes scary new future for entertainment as a whole, and I think platforms like KORUS are there, one, to just protect artists and help push the kind of music industry forward, but also bring more people into music. The first time I got into DJing, it just completely opened my mind. I was like, damn, music is so much fun, and you just want to get more involved. You want to produce, you want to play with it. And I think platforms like KORUS are made to really open that up, show you that it's not that difficult to just get involved, and hopefully expand your love of music in a bunch of new ways, and create with your favorite artists, which is something that, I think is just an incredible new future for the industry. But please come check it out. Give us your feedback. We're in the early stages of developing this product, and the most important thing is to build it with users and people who want to see it grow. So if you love it, let us know. If you hate it, let us know. We'll be building on all of your feedback. And Nathan, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do and release this year. I know we've got some stuff planned, and more remix challenges, more experiences, I'm sure, will be coming up. But yeah,
definitely. Well, I've got a release out tomorrow on my new label Horizon, hence the t-shirt. But yeah, that's coming out tomorrow, and I've been chatting to my team about trying to get the stems in for that one as well into KORUS at some point. So we're keen on doing that, and delivering more music for you guys to play about with.
Sounds good. Well, yeah, really excited for all of it, and good luck for the year ahead. Nice one.
Thank you very much.
Let's check out some of the submissions from the Mousetrap mixtape. What do we have here? This one really caught my eye with the custom artwork. Shout out to Riot. Let's have a listen. really high quality stuff there. I love how much you went in with the artwork and the whole thing, even just dropping the track down to 113 BPM. It's got this crazy swing to it. Great job with this one, Riot. Coming out very strong there. Let's check out this track from Ghost featuring a Volaris and Lemon stems. Sounding good. Really nice. The Volaris Lemon combo is a popular one. Really nice. Nice. That's a nice track. So many fun little elements in there. And it's quite cool because that's Volaris, Speaker Honey, and Lemourne stems in one track. I haven't seen that in just yet. But yeah, nice work there. Let's check out this. This is actually using one of the new features, and it's a recording. So yeah, intrigued to see how this turns out.